can a good film change your life?
Well, I think, and it depends, I mean, change can come in a lot of different ways, but I do think in a lot of ways, yes, it definitely can. Film is really a medium that resonates I just don't know anyone who doesn't appreciate. I mean, some people may not go to lots of films. Not everyone appreciates or attends films quite in the obsessive manner that I or my colleagues do. But but I know, but film really does speak. Everyone can enjoy the experience of sitting in a theater and watching a film, or just even sitting down on your couch and watching a good movie, and just the pure entertainment value alone. But also just the visceral experience of storytelling through image and sound. If done really well, can just be extremely compelling. I think also, of course, on a level of, true stories and documentaries, I think those can change lives dramatically. Just for people to, and I've seen this in a lot of different ways, particularly working within the educational realm and all of the screenings that we've done with school groups over the years, to watch the impact that films that they've seen can have on young people in particular is kind of amazing. And I've seen it on a lot of different levels, whether it's a film about, another culture or, their kids their own age in other places in the world who are going through really challenging things or, who have these huge obstacles just to being able to go to school that, kids here completely take for granted or, hate. To realize how much they take for granted and to see that in another child who they can relate to from their story on screen can be incredibly transforming and just, totally enlightening.
Yeah, I agree.
And also go ahead.
I think there's so many different variety of films and so many different genres.
Right.
Sometimes a film will affect you in a different way. Some films, sometimes if you're just having a bad day, and like I said, a lot of my listeners, either they have kids or they have high-powered jobs or, they've got a lot of stress. Sometimes, every once in a while, it's just good to go and see a funny movie. Not that you want to get a message out of it, just fluff, fun. You want to laugh. You want to forget your problems for that hour and a half or 2 hours. And then it almost just kind of puts you in a different frame of mind. And so in that aspect, it can be really helpful. I mean, yes, it's entertaining, but it does a little something more than that. It makes you realize that, life isn't as difficult as we would like to make it to be. And,
right.
We shouldn't take ourselves so seriously. And sometimes seeing a good, funny film can change that attitude. Then again, like you were saying, our kids today have so much peer pressure, and we're dealing with all kinds of subjects like homosexuality, disease, meaning HIV or even something else like, leukemia or whatever it may be, or anything, or cultural differences, anything that puts you in a different box, so to speak, that maybe you're not in the norm. And when you see a film that may be a character, and like you said, especially if it's true, it even becomes more powerful that if they can see somebody that they relate to on film, I think that could be life-changing, and it is incredibly powerful.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree. And I think that when you see, and sometimes, especially if you go to a film where you don't necessarily know what you're going to get, or, I feel like that's one of the great experiences of the festival, too, is sometimes you sort of just take chances on films that, you've never heard of. They come from countries you may never even heard of, and you're not quite sure what the experience will be like, and you see something that I've had that experience many times where I've gone and just sat down in a dark theater and I don't know too much about this film, but, I'll check it out, and it just completely has changed my perspective on something or, really had a profound impact on me emotionally because I connected with a character or, there was a storyline that really I related to. I mean, I think that happens quite a lot.
I know even with me years ago, there was a movie, and I think it was even an independent film called The Whale Runner or The Whale Rider.
The Whale Rider, yes.
And they were all
Beautiful
unknowns.
Film.
Wasn't it great? Anyway, somebody had said to me, come on, Dr. Marla, I want to take you to this movie. And I really, I was busy. I really didn't want to. And they talked me into it. And really, I walked into the movie theater kind of thinking, I'm not going to really like this. Whale Rider. I just couldn't figure it out. And I didn't know any of the actors or actresses. And I thought, all right. But I tell you, I walked in reluctant and I came out saying, wow. I loved it. And this, it was encouraging, even for me. I mean, the storyline was about this young girl, and she was, trying to disperse these cultural expectations on her. but we all could relate to what she was going through.
Right.
And it was a beautiful film. And even though I wasn't a child, I walked out feeling inspired, uplifted, and really kind of feeling like I can conquer the world. I can certainly conquer my own problems. So it gives you this sense of inspiration, which is priceless. You just, you can't get that in other, too many other places. And, somebody was telling me the other day, they said, Dr. Marla, I'm feeling really depressed, and, my mother is aging, and, she needs health care and a caregiver, and, it's really disheartening to see, a loved one's health deteriorate. And you know what my suggestion for her is I said, you know what, go see a good movie, get out of the house for a couple of hours, have fun, and then come back. And your frame of mind is going to be completely different. And that's exactly what she did, and it worked. So,
there's
film.
Also something, there's something, too, in even the immersive experience. Like, I love that you told her to go to the theater, because there's something very distinctive, too, in the immersive experience of being in a dark theater with a screen of that size, with other people, and feeling how engaged you are in a story compared to when you watch it just on your television in your living